Chapter 4 Battle Beneath the Sea. Iggy rushed to fetch the auto swimsuit. They were his own invention. The big orange puffy suits stopped the heavy Astrosaurs sinking, while powerful built-in motors propelled them through the water. Soon, Tags and Gypsy were trying them on at the ocean's edge. We could have used this special suit when we were stuck on the sea bed on Aqua Minor, said Gypsy, shivering at the memory. I look like a big orange blob, Tax declared. He bobbed up and down in the water, trying to get used to it. Iggy smiled. This reminds me of a rude rhyme I once heard. He cleared his throat and began. There once was a bold stegosaurus who frolicked upon the seashore us. Though he didn't agata, he weighed in the water and left the fish in an uproar. Tex couldn't help but chuckle. Good old Iggy was always trying to cheer people up, even when things were very serious. Or, in this case, serious. As he gazed out across the ocean, Tex couldn't help feeling that they were being watched. That something out there in the depth knew they were coming. Arx, Queen Swampy, Janice, and Gastro all came to the beach to wave them off. How do you know the Mags won't simply eat you? Twittered the Queen. Because we are Astrosaurs, and we come in peace, said Gypsy. We only want to hear their side of the story. Tex and Gypsy waved goodbye, then pressed a button on their suit. With a spark, a splash, and a whee! They started swishing away through the sea. They soon got used to the auto swimsuit. It was like someone else was doing all the hard work for you. So, swimming underwater became good fun. From here, they couldn't see just how much of the island had already slipped beneath the waves. They swam along summer streets and over sunken sandy gardens. It was like an eerie undersea town, empty of all life. Then the water got dirtier. Big brown lumps floated in it like a nasty soup. Gypsy turned up her snout inside her helmet. Is that dung? I think so, said Tags. Looks like the Mags aren't as fussy as a Bacterosaurus when it comes to keeping clean. They swam on and on through the murky, mucky water. Then, suddenly, Tags saw a huge dark shape cut through the sea towards him. It was gray and sleek like a shark, but much, much larger. The fin on its back was as big as a sail. Its jaws were open wide and bristling with teeth. Tex gulped and switched off his propellers. I think we met our first megalodon. Another of the fearsome creatures approached and loomed over Gypsy. Greetings, said Gypsy. We are Astrosaurs. We come in peace. You come in filth, cried the Mag. You want to protect those fools on Clean Island. You're on their side. Tag swam up to him. So you admit that you are sinking the island? We are not talking to him, the other Mag told Gypsy. He laughs at rude poems about making the sea dirty, like it's not already dirty enough. But that poem was just a silly joke, she said. Captain Tags would never really wee in the sea. Of course not. I used a flush toilet before we set off, Tags informed him. Why are you attacking the island? Are you trying to get the terror birds? But the Mags were too angry to listen to another word. You make everything mucky, you dino dirtbags, said the first one. But pretty soon your friends will be well and truly sunk, all of them. We're gonna get them good, added the second, especially that godless Castro. Just you wait. Then Tex felt sharp teeth on his tail. One of the Mags must have sneaked up behind him. His other swimsuit made a very rude noise. It was punctured. Tex started to deflate like a giant orange balloon. The air rushed from his suit and sent him whizzing off in a wild, helpless zigzag through the sewage-filled sea. No, Tex cried. Gypsy! He knew he was leaving her to face the Mags alone. He paddled desperately to try to reach her, but the air leak was forcing him further and further away. Then he hit something with an almighty crash. To his astonishment, it was a brick wall. He had gone smashing into one of the sunken buildings on the island's coast. And as the last pockets of air sputtered from his suit, he could feel himself sinking too. Tag started to swim as hard as he could. He whirled his tail around and around like a spiky propeller with all his strength, forcing himself upwards. Finally, he broke the surface of the water and a big wave washed him onto the shore. Queen Swampy, Janice, Castro, and Iggy were still there, waiting for him. What happened? Said Iggy, helping him up. Queen Swampy cringed. Perhaps you should have a bath before you tell me. You look terribly dirty. This is no time to worry about washing, Tex shouted. The Mags have got Gypsy and they want to get us all. Especially you, Castro, unless we can find help fast. It looks like we are all well and truly sunk.